The main goal for this video is just to show you how the core features work in this common recruitment scenario and to demonstrate how the platform can automate 100% of the process for you or allow you to manage 100% of the process manually or anything in between. At the time of this video, this is the only platform in the world that makes all of this possible. For our example, we'll be hiring a CFO for a healthcare organization in Los Angeles. We'll start by going to Jobs, then click Create New Job. Fill in all the usual information you would for a job listing. I'll fast forward this video so you don't have to watch me type. If you want people to be able to visit the listing and apply without logging in, make sure the listing status is set to public. You can select an owner for the job, associate the job with a client, and enter a fee amount that you're expecting for this role. If you're on the free plan, go ahead and click Create Job. Now, if you have a paid plan and you want to use automations, click the checkbox next to Automation Settings. I won't talk about psychometrics in this video, but I will activate all of the other automations. Set the closing date for applications. Check the shortlist box and decide how many candidates you want in the shortlist. Check the box for auto-approving virtual interview requests. This means that the AI will decide who to invite to a virtual interview and send the invitation without any involvement from you. If you decide you want to do virtual interviews, the AI will select the 2 candidates that have the highest job fit score from your shortlist and invite them to do the virtual interview and conduct the virtual interview and send you the results of the virtual interview without you doing anything. You also need to decide if you want the virtual interview to be an interactive interview with a lifelike avatar or if you'd prefer to just use a text interview. In both cases, interview transcripts and a video of the candidate will be generated automatically. This is where you set the number of candidates that you want to do virtual interviews. You can enter any virtual interview questions you want the AI to ask here. If you leave it empty, the AI will generate all of the interview questions and they'll be based on the candidate's resume and the job description. You can also enter FAQs and answers about the job. Again, this is optional, but it allows the AI avatar to answer questions from candidates about the role. Set a deadline for completing the virtual interview. Now, I'm not expecting you to let the AI choose the best candidate, but for this demonstration, I'll check this box anyway. Let's set a deadline date. Finally, let's include some instructions for the successful candidate so they'll know what to do when they start the job. Just to clarify, in case you're wondering, the only part of this entire process that requires human involvement is the human interview. And that's optional. If you decide not to do a human interview, this entire process can run from beginning to end with absolutely no human involvement. We're the first platform that has automated the entire job application management process from beginning to end to a level where it requires no human involvement. Now, there might be some situations where 100% automation makes sense, but for most recruiters, we expect that you'll want to do at least one human interview. So that's the assumption I'm making in this example. Here's what the job listing looks like. Let's do an example of a candidate applying without logging into anything. They'll just enter the usual job application info, upload their resume, and click submit. Now, if we go to the job application screen for this job and click view applications, now let's do an example of a candidate that already has a one-click worker account. The job listing will look like this, but when they click submit, the resume they've set up on one-click worker will be automatically sent, so they don't have to upload or attach anything. I fast forwarded the video and added 3 of these applications. Now, if we look at the job application screen and refresh it, you can see that we now have a total of 4 applications. These applications start in the application stage, and then job fit reports and job fit scores are created. And when they're created, they'll move to the job fit pre-interview stage. For the purpose of this example, I'm using resumes that make it clear that Jonathan Mitchell is the most qualified candidate for the job, Maria Gonzalez is the second most qualified, and Samuel Baker is the least qualified. John Carter is literally unqualified. So if the AI does its job correctly, it should rank them in the order that I just mentioned when it starts scoring them, and you can see this process has started now. While we're waiting for the scoring to be completed, let's source candidates externally by going to Candidates and clicking External Sourcing. I'll select the job I just created and click Source Candidates. This generates a preliminary list. I'll approve it and continue. I'll quickly scan this list. If I see a candidate that I'm interested in, I'll click this button to extract their profile, and I'll delete the rest. For the candidates where I've extracted the profile data, I'll also click this button to use AI to score each one of them. If I feel like I want to contact them right now, I can click this button to use AI to generate a custom outreach message based on the job description and their profile data. If I've actually contacted them, I'll mark them as contacted. Keep in mind that this process won't involve scraping LinkedIn or using your LinkedIn account, so your LinkedIn account will always be safe. When I'm done, I'll save. Now let's go to the job application screen and see what all of this looks like. The candidates that have not been contacted are in the sourced column, and the candidate that we contacted is in the contacted column. You can view the outreach message that we created by clicking Outreach. You can see a lot of other buttons on the job application cards. You can click Resume to see the resume. In this case, it's a sourced candidate, so we're looking at the LinkedIn profile data instead of a resume. This is a candidate that actually submitted a resume, and you can see that it's formatted as a professional resume. You can click Cover Letter to see the cover letter. If you activated psychometric testing, you'll see the test result here. Soon you'll start to see job fit scores added to each application. You can click the job fit score to view the job fit report. If you see one with a score of 0, or if the score seems wildly inaccurate, you can click this button to regenerate the job fit report. If we want to send a rejection email, we just click this button and it will be sent automatically. This is the default email. You can create your own customized rejection email by going to Org and Email Templates. When the job application closing date has passed, it will trigger the AI to generate a short list of candidates based on our settings. In this example, we wanted a short list of 3 candidates, and we can see 3 shortlisted candidates. You'll know they're shortlisted because they're in the shortlist stage, or they have a gold star in the top right-hand corner. Now we also see that some candidates have been moved to the VI requested stage. VI stands for virtual interview. When we set up this job, we decided that we wanted to invite 2 people to do virtual interviews. And you can see that the AI has selected the 2 candidates from the shortlist that have the highest job fit scores and invited them to do virtual interviews and moved the job application card to the virtual interview requested stage. You can also see that the VI requested button has been grayed out, which tells you that the candidate has been invited to do the virtual interview. If the candidate has a one-click worker account, they'll see the invitation in their applications. If they don't have a one-click worker account, they'll see the invitation in their email. So now I'll pretend to be a candidate and answer a question or 2 in this interview with the lifelike AI avatar. So now I'm in the user interface of the candidate. I go to my applications. This is the job I applied for. You can see here I've been invited to do a virtual interview. Let's click it. I can see that my audio is working correctly. I can obviously see myself in the image. Let's select the interviewer and get going. I'll click Start Session. When this grayed out red button becomes red, that'll be the time to start talking. Hello, are you ready to chat? Yes, I confirm I can start in 30 days. Yes, I've been a CFO of healthcare organizations for 10 years. I've been responsible for enterprise-wide budget control. Okay, so that's it. The interview is done. It's important to note that AI isn't deterministic, so it won't always behave the exact same way. If it asks a question like, "How can I help you?" you just need to tell it that you're here for a job interview and let it know the job title. If that doesn't work, try refreshing the page and starting again. If you run into any other issues, just refresh the page and start again. Okay, after the virtual interview is done, if you wait a minute and go back to the job screen and refresh the screen, you'll see a transcript badge and a video badge. This is only available for candidates that have completed virtual interviews. You can click on the transcript badge to see the transcript of the interview, and you can click on the interview badge to watch the interview. Keep in mind that by default, most browsers will only let you hear the audio from the candidate. At this point in time, the AI has scored candidates, shortlisted them, and interviewed them. You could continue with no human involvement and allow the AI to review everything and select the best candidate. But in most cases, you'll probably want to do a human interview to follow up the virtual interview. So in this case, you can go ahead and click the interview manager and then click Generate Interview Questions. Give it a few seconds and you'll get a list of interview questions you can ask in your human interview with this candidate. These questions are not generic. They're based on the job description and the specific resume of the candidate you're about to interview. Now, we recommend recording the human interview and then uploading an MP3 of the audio to generate a transcript. This transcript is obviously useful for you as a recruiter, but we're also doing this to give the AI the information it needs to continue working through this recruitment process. Again, this is all optional, but if you want to get the best results, this is what you should do. When the interviews are done and the deadline for interviews has passed, the AI will generate a post-interview job fit report. It's the same as the pre-interview job fit report. It just adds an extra component for the interview. I'm using the default settings for the job fit reports and job fit scores. If you want to modify the settings to generate a custom report with a custom scoring system, you can do it by going to AI settings and clicking job fit. So at this point in our example, we've completed human and virtual interviews with 2 candidates, and it's time to figure out which candidate we want to select. So let's go to the Candidate Explorer. Select the job you're working on. I'll select the box for the 2 candidates that I want to compare. I'll ask the most obvious question, like compare Jonathan Mitchell and Maria Gonzalez and let me know which one is best for the job. You'll see a detailed response. In this case, there's an overall fit summary, a comparison across key dimensions, unique strengths, gaps and concerns, and you can see each one of these compares each of them. Recommendation. I'll continue to ask as many questions as I want until I'm confident that I can select the best candidate. Now, under normal circumstances, this is where the process ends. You select the best candidate and then you tell them. But we activated the automations for selecting the best candidate, so when the candidate selection deadline is passed, it will trigger the AI to review the candidates that have completed interviews and select the best candidate. The best candidate will be the candidate that has completed interviews and has the highest post-interview job fit score. If you've activated this automation, this candidate will also automatically receive an email notification with instructions about what to do. So, as you can see, this entire process can be completed with no human involvement other than creating a job listing with some automation settings. But you can also see that we've added several important features that allow for human involvement with AI assistance. The obvious examples being candidate sourcing, interview questions for the human interview, transcriptions of the human interview, and using the Candidate Explorer to compare candidates. This gives recruiters the best of both worlds. The platforms allow you to manage the job application process from beginning to end with any level of automation and human involvement that you like, ranging from 100% automated to 100% managed by humans, or any combination of the two. You get to choose how much automation and human involvement you want. As I said earlier, this quick walkthrough only uses the core features required to complete a typical recruitment sequence. So we've really only talked about 10% of the features of the platform. The platform actually also includes a fully featured ATS and CRM, advanced tools for onboarding, psychometric tests, surveys and courses, and it's all free. The only parts of the platform that require a paid plan are the features that use AI and automations. Check out the other videos to learn more about the platform and its other features.